In this video, we're going to further explore the question of, is the brain a computer? In particular, we're going to look at an argument that says, no, the brain is not a computer, because if you look at the brain, I think you'll find it's made out of salt water and fat. So basically, that's pretty much what the brain is made of if you were to liquidize it. And actually, I think you'll find when you look at a computer, it's made out of metal and plastic, and it has chips in it, and the chips are made of silicon. And so you are being very silly in your assertion that the brain is a computer. Okay, I kind of slightly took the mick out of that, but hopefully it was kind of amusing. I'm going to give a response to that argument and say, well, in a way, yes, you are correct. The physical structure of computers, of artificial digital computers that people build in chip fabrication plants and factories, are completely made out of different stuff. Not only are they made out of different stuff, but they have different kind of organizations, just completely different. And so, sure, yeah, they're made out of different physical things. However, the argument would go, I disagree with your assertion that brains are not computers. And I would say that the physical material that brains or artificial computers are made of is irrelevant. What is more relevant is what is the function being performed. Now, this is where it's important to introduce Marr's levels of analysis. So Marr, M-A-R-R, was a scientist who proposed this idea that we could analyze things at different levels. So you could think about things on different levels. So the first one would be the computational, or perhaps the objective level. And on this level, you can basically ask, what is going on here? What is the purpose? What is the goal being performed? So you might think of one goal, which is eat food, find food, don't be hungry. At the middle level, we have what's called the algorithmic level. And so this is at a slightly lower level, where you basically ask the question, how do I go about achieving this goal? Let's say, how do I go about doing it procedurally? You could think of doing this in multiple different ways. You could say, get shoes on, go out to the shop, buy food, pay the money, come back home, cook the food. So what I just described is essentially, it's a bit silly, but it's essentially an algorithm which is a series of step-by-step instructions of what to do. And so we have the objective level, the computational goal of get food, don't be hungry. We have the algorithm level, which is a series of instructions. You can imagine you could come up with a whole bunch of other instructions. So maybe rather than following the ones that I gave you, maybe you could have a different algorithm, which is type pizza into your phone and press deliver me pizza. That would be a different algorithm, but it would achieve the same objective. On the lowest level of Marr's levels of analysis is the mechanism level. And so this now asks a much more low-level question of what is the physical mechanism, what is the hardware in which these instructions are carried out. So if we're talking about a person following these instructions, the hardware is essentially, the brain and the body, and so on. And now we kind of understand why I'm mentioning this, because on the bottom level, we are looking at the physical structure, the physical mechanisms which are there. And at the start of the video, we looked at this issue of, no, the brain is not a computer because it's made out of different stuff. And we kind of agreed that, yes, the brain and an artificial computer are made out of different physical stuff. But a functionalist kind of objection to that would be, that's irrelevant. The physical mechanisms which perform these actions are irrelevant. What's more relevant is the higher levels of Mars analysis. So you could say, what is the computational goal being performed? And so if there is no reason why you cannot have a robot do exactly the same things. It could walk out the door, it could go down the street, it could go to the food shop, and so on. But you wouldn't really say the robot is not going food shopping simply because the robot is made out of different stuff than a person who goes shopping. So I hope that's all clear, and I hope the video has been useful in addressing one of the criticisms of the claim that the brain is a computer.